Hey fools, I'm Max Macaluso, and normally I look at how the ACA, better known as Obamacare, is going to affect the financial markets. But joining me today to talk about how to pick the right policy under Obamacare is Director of Investment Planning, Dan Kaplinger. Hi, Dan.
Hey, Max.
So Dan, let's start broad. What will the exchanges look like when they kick off?
Well, the big question of Obamacare that so many people have is, well, how's it actually going to work? What kind of choices am I going to have to make as a health insurance consumer in order to get the best deal? And so, kind of taking a look, the health insurance exchanges aren't scheduled to have open enrollment until October 1. So we haven't seen exactly how it's going to work. But the basic framework will look something like this. You're going to have choices, basically different tiers of coverage that you can choose from. In the way that the president has referred to these, he's used gold, silver, and bronze as sort of a framework for the kind of coverage that you're going to get. So the trade-offs are this. With a bronze type insurance policy, you're going to have lower premium payments, but you're also going to have higher amounts that you're going to be responsible for paying up front. So we're talking about higher deductibles and higher co-payment amounts when you go to visit your doctor or other medical professional. In addition, the benefits are going to be less comprehensive. You're going to be responsible for a greater percentage of total health insurance costs, and your maximum out-of-pocket costs might be higher. On the other end of the spectrum, you've got the gold policies. They're going to have low co-payments, low deductibles, low maximums for out-of-pocket expenses. But where they're going to hit you is on the premium cost. The premiums are going to be a lot higher for a gold style policy than they will be for a silver or a bronze style policy. And so you're going to have to take a look at your state's program to see what your choices are and what makes sense for you.
Okay, Dan, I have kind of a hard question for you. How can you pick the right one?
You know what? It's an impossible question to answer generally, because for every single individual, the answer is going to be different. And it really depends on your own health situation, on your financial situation, and your willingness to take risk with your finances. And so what you really have to do, you have to compare the plans and the benefits each of those plans offer. And you have to take those benefits in line with your own personal financial situation and your own medical needs. If you're a relatively healthy person, then you're probably going to do better if you pick a low-cost policy that charges you relatively cheap premiums, because even though the benefits aren't as good, you're not going to need them as much. On the other hand, if you have pretty comprehensive health needs where you need a lot of medical professional help, then you're going to want to take a closer look at the more expensive premium plans, because even though you're going to pay more in monthly premiums, you're going to get more coverage, lower amounts out of pocket to actually get the care that you need. And so that's a trade-off you really have to look at to see what makes more sense for you.
Okay, Dan, so what do you think the most important part of the policy is? Should people be looking at the premiums?
Well, it's not just the premiums. Really, the key to making a smart choice is looking past the price tag that Obamacare policy is going to have. And unfortunately, a lot of professional analysts have not done that. They've just focused on, the policy premium is going to be this much more expensive or this much cheaper. And they haven't looked at the total impact on your health budget. If you pay more in health insurance premiums, you could still end up better off overall if the amounts you pay in copays, if the amounts you pay to get prescription drugs, if the amounts you pay to doctors is overall lower. You really have to look at that big picture analysis in order to get an accurate picture of how you'll fare under Obamacare and which policy is going to be the best for you.
Okay, great. Thanks for that deep dive on policies. For Dan Kaplinger, I'm Max Macaluso. And to get more information on the ACA and how it will impact you in the financial markets, check back to fool.com.